Hi. Hello. Hi. Where's the sound? Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Downtown producer, blinding. Yeah. Anyway, we have permission to use downtown producer music for our podcast interviews. I just want to say thank you to downtown. Use this good music.
Oh.
Hey.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Well, hello and welcome to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. I'm your host, Queen Sheila, and
I'm your host, Leslie Henry.
All the way from Tampa and Clearwater, Florida. So today we have the pleasure of interviewing Sharon Lynn Holmes, the founder and executive director of the International Consortium of Line Dance Instructors. Yay! Hello.
Yay. Woo-woo.
Okay, I'm ready. So let's talk. You ready to talk?
I sure am. You just got, my husband said I don't see, there's not a mic I don't like to see, so.
Oh, okay. All right, so Sharon, tell us about yourself and your dance team.
Okay, let me just tell you real quick. I started line dancing in 1999 in Baltimore. And I ran into a group called Stepping Out Productions. And because I love to dance and I learned quickly, the owner of the organization asked me to join her dance group. At the time, with 35 dancers. And we did bop, cha-cha, and line dancing. And I went from there. I stayed there maybe about a year. I learned how to do showcases. I learned all the dances. I couldn't learn them fast enough, but there weren't that many either. So I went from there to starting my own group here in, at the time in Mitchellville, Maryland. And that was called Lynn Dancing Club. We're still together. We don't do as much as we used to, but we're celebrating our 20th year as a line dance organization. And there are about a dozen of us. And it's like a family. And, we love to be around one another. We've been together. Some of us been together 15, 16 years. So we're very close. And we still do showcase. We did our last showcase at the Union Crew Annual Awards event in Baltimore in January 2020. We did a showcase routine. So on about, I want to say around 2010, I started the organization because I wanted to find out what I didn't know about dance and music and what I thought would be important to me to improve my style and skill and knowledge in choreography and executing dance moves. I called together a few of my friends and colleagues and talked about the concept with them. They liked it, they gave me some input, and that was the summer of 2010. In December 2010, I put it all together and hosted my first class, and there were 8 of us. And as I speak today, 6 of us are still in the organization. So that's kind of how I got here.
That's really great. Really
Yeah.
Great. So how did you come up with the concept
The concept of instruction is because I wanted to be certified. And in 2004, a colleague of mine in Philly, Joette, and I, and Aileen from Philly, we all thought about getting certified to be better at what we did. We loved the art so much. We wanted to be the best that we could be. And I didn't follow it. So I got tired of not understanding what I was doing, and I'm a person that loves education. I went back late in life and got my master's degree because I always wanted to learn to be the best I could be. So that's how I've always been. I've always wanted to learn and see what I could do about improving myself. And because I love the art, and I saw that a lot of our instructors, like me, didn't understand how to count, didn't understand the correct execution of moves, but we could dance. We've always been able to get on the floor and dance. I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. My mother used to say, come on into your long legs. I'm 5'8". Come on into your long legs and show us something. And the rest is history.
Well, Leslie, would you like to ask Sharon a question?
Yes. Okay, 1 second here. So I wanted to know how you get started. How did you get started with the LIC?
ICLDI.
ICLDI.
Okay, one of the colleagues I worked with was Dr. Sandy Bell, and she and I talked about the name, and they just kind of put together International Consortium. I came up with International, and I thought about a consortium as a group of line dance instructors, and just started hosting that from that first class, and we got 8 students. I started with putting the pieces of the organization and the training together, and I thought for us to be accepted, we needed to have the best instructors. Therefore, I started with all professionals. From the day we started the first class in 2010, we paid for attorneys, we paid for licensed business owners, we paid for master instructor, and we paid for all components. There's 6 components in the training. Each of those components is handled and presented by a professional that's got licenses and degrees. That way, it gave our course material validation, because at the time and still today, we don't have the big money and the big structure to get into the big organizations that allow you to get bigger certifications. Either you have to be an educational institution or college or something like that. So over the years, we just make sure that every training we have a professional that's licensed. And there have been instructors over time that have asked for, had components, commercial industries ask for justification, and we prepare a justification, give whatever we need to give them so that they're accepted by whatever entity wants to bring them in and use them to train and teach.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Great. That makes a lot of sense. It really
Yeah,
does.
it does. It really does, because I knew anything about all of these different certifications and training until I actually started teaching, and I started teaching for the Y. So I was really curious about it because I went through NTA, National Teachers Association,
Yes.
which is a little bit different from what you guys do. So
Yeah. I know about NTA. In fact, one of our master instructors is ran the NTA for about 4 or 5 years. Her name is
okay.
Donna Manning. And Donna Manning is one of the professionals that we go to help put on our class. In fact, when we came down to Orlando to do our retreat in 2018, Donna Manning was hired to do our training for our retreats. So we get the best. And Donna Manning, as far as I'm concerned, you can't get any better than her. And
Okay, cool.
She was the director of NTA for a number of years.
Okay, yes, I know her personally.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay. So Sharon, what are some of the requirements for obtaining a certification through ICLDI?
Well, an instructor has to have 18 months of teaching experience along with 105 hours. So if you can get 105 hours over the 18-month period and it is verifiable, then that's one part of it. Then you have to submit a video of 5 minutes so that we can preview the video. And we did that because for the first few years, all an instructor or an applicant had to do was to give us the written material. And there was nothing in that written material that guaranteed they could dance or hold a beat or do a kickball change. And we got some blowback from our constituents about that matter. So that's why now you have to submit a video. And the video is reviewed by our executive council and our master instructor. And over the 5 years we've had the video, we've denied 3 instructors to come into the training because of the quality of their dance or lack of dance ability and instruction once we saw the video.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, you have a question, Leslie?
Yes, is there a line dance etiquette that you would recommend for line dance instructors?
Oh my gosh, there is so much to etiquette that starts with keeping your space on the floor, respecting the people that dance around you, handle yourself in terms of the ICLDI. When you come through our program, you're expected to be a little step above the rest because you know better. You're not better than anybody. You just have
Right.
professionals tell you what you should be doing. And anytime I get on the floor, me individually as a dancer, I know people are watching me. So I always try and put the best, look the part, treat everybody around me fair, keep my space, except if it's my dance, you know what I'm gonna do now. You have to get out the way. If it's that one dance I gotta do, I'm gonna be out front, be in the back, you know what I'm talking about, wherever I have to be in a space where I don't interfere. So the etiquette is be fair, stay in your space, stay on the line. If you're in a class and someone is not teaching the dance either correctly per the choreographer or the way you learned it, don't say that in the class. There's always a time and place to critique or share information. So that etiquette would be just wait till after the class, go up to the instructor or whomever you think you can talk to, and always do it respectful because we want to treat people the way you want to be treated. So those are just things about etiquette.
Okay.
Okay. So Sharon, I want to ask you before I get into the dance, the fun stuff. How can someone that's interested in obtaining their certification contact you?
Well, we have, and they can contact both of you, first of all. That's a start. We do have a website. It's called icldi.com. And when you access that website, it allows you to submit a request of interest, and we go from there. Or you can contact one of our members if you know them, or you can get on our email, which is USLDWORKG@gmail. And Sheila can give that to you if you want to get back with Sheila. She can give that to you.
Oh, okay. All right. I have a question, another question. Do you know how many LDI are certified under you guys?
Right now, currently we have 68 active instructors, and that's
okay.
Country. Since the 10 years, we've trained over 400 instructors, but not everybody remains active. So
Got it.
currently, we have 65 instructors that are active, meaning they're in the active organization. Once you take the 2 days and 12 hours of training, you automatically are in the organization for that year. Then you have to maintain certain requirements of keeping annual dues, getting your keeping your CPR current, and doing some extra training, going to a class, getting 4 hours of training during the year. And you can get the 4 hours of training by going to any class that's got a certified or a licensed instructor. It could be salsa, could be ballroom dancing. We can even let you in if you've got Zoom certification or aerobics certification can be considered to get you in the organization.
Oh, okay, nice.
And okay, thank you. So the last thing before I get into the dance part, what would you say is just a few of the reasons why someone who wants to be an instructor or who is an instructor, what are the advantages of getting a certification?
Well, it goes back.
There's many.
But it goes back to who you are as an individual. If you are an instructor and you want to be the best instructor you can be, and you feel that there's some weaknesses in your instruction skill and you want to learn more, then this is for you. Not everybody wants to be certified. There are a lot of people that don't care about it. They just want to get out there and dance, and that's fine. This is not mandatory. This is an option for any instructor that wants to be better. So the value and the benefit is you get the professional training. You get a training for an attorney that talks to you about intellectual property, copyright instruction. It talks to you about the latest regulations regarding using social media. We get instructors from either the attorney or a licensed person with their own business, talks about how to get your own business. Whether instructors know it or not, when you put that shingle up and you charge $5, $10, you're an independent contractor. Okay. And anybody can say, you know, I went here, are they filing taxes? Or this girl down here, or this lady down here has a class, what are they doing? So you get to learn about legal aspects of instruction. You get to learn the techniques of counting, how to execute the dance moves correctly, what the correct names for the dance moves are. I know there are a lot of names. I remember going to Chicago and they did the pretty girl. I said, what the heck is a pretty girl? Well, you know, you look good today, but you know, what is that move? And there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just, can you tell me what that standard term for that dance move is? We didn't invent dancing. It's been out here forever. So there are standard terms for every step we make. So I don't care if you call it a pretty girl, just be able to tell your class what that step is and tell them the standard name for that dance step. So that's what you're learning. You're getting into an organization with like instructors that like you want to be better, and you learn and share information. You learn from an attorney, you learn from a business executive, you learn, we have health and wellness, we have a licensed fitness instructor. We used to have physical therapists that came on. We've had MDs to come on and talk about health and wellness. How do you keep yourself well and healthy? You all know, probably you're guilty yourself, of dancing and teaching when you got an injury. That's a no-no. But you think you can do it. You think nobody can take over your class. And you're dragging it with your back sore, your ankle stiff. And I've seen a lot of us do that. So it teaches you about dancing, instructing in a smart way and knowing how to take care of yourself. So those are some of the benefits that I see. The greatest benefit, once you get that, is being in an organization with like instructors that think like you, share information, and just want to be the best that they can be so that they can give good service to the people that pay that $5 or $10 to come to an event or come to a class.
Cool.
Thank you. You know, something I thought about is that a lot of people see you teaching and they're like, oh, I could do this. You know, it's easy. They don't know what goes on behind like, income tax, and you constantly have to work to learn new dances.
Right.
What you already know. And they always think that, oh, you know, it's no problem. All I have to do is, you know, just come in and teach a dance and I'm good. But it's a lot behind the scenes, you know. That's true.
And I know we've all seen people that have come to our class and 5 weeks later they got their shingle up. I said, they're doing what? They're teaching. Okay, well, you know, it's a free society. And like you said, everybody thinks they can teach. It is not easy to put on an event, to put on a class, to stay current with the industry, to give the best instruction. It takes a minute to prepare and get yourself ready for that. So you're right, Sheila, that's very important. And that's one of the things that we talk about in our training, is about how to bring our industry up, how to improve ourselves as instructors so that we can improve the quality of instruction and the level of renown of our industry, just to do better. We're talented. We're very talented, and choreographers and dancers. We pick up the music. We pick up the music when we don't understand what we're picking up, but we can dance to it. But we now have to come full circle and come to closure and be able to be a lot more professional. Professionalism is an attitude about what we do in our industry. And that's what I'm trying to encourage our instructors and the new instructors coming into the industry, to care more about those types of important things to further our industry, because we're not going to always be here. We want people coming behind us that have the knowledge, have the skill, and have the same respect for our industry, and to be able to move it forward.
That's so true, Sharon. I was talking to one of my team members the other day, and I was saying, you know, I did a video that I showed at our Swiss party, and I had like 200 slides. But what I did a walkthrough time since 2013 when we started. I did a walkthrough time, and I was like, you know what? This one was with us and left and started their own group. It didn't work out. You know, it did or it didn't work out for whatever reason. I don't know why, you know, but I'm just saying that sometimes your team or your group or your teaching style is the starting point for a lot of people. So if you teach them right, like you said, Miss Sharon, if you teach them right, how to count it, how to, to execute the dance step right,
Correctly,
then when
yes.
they move on, they teach somebody else. They can say, "Oh, well, I learned from Sharon, Sharon Lynn Holmes, because she taught me the right way from the beginning."
Yeah, that's what we all want to be able to do. Because I tell my students, don't go out here and tell them you learned that the wrong way in here, because I'll disown you, I'll pull you on it. So it's very important. Very important.
Okay. The last question next to the last question was, how has COVID-19 affected our industry, and what can we do going forward to, make it better, make things better?
Yeah, I think COVID, well, for one thing, COVID gave us a chance to take a breath. That's the positive on the impact of not being able to dance 6 days a week, not being able to have those 4 or 5 classes during the week. It slowed us down enough to be able to say, okay, now what do I do? How do I better what I'm doing? How do I get a little more creative? Because I can't go down to the rec center. I can't go down to the church. I can't bring people out to the class, but I need and want to dance because we get so much out of being together. It's a stress buster. It's a chance to socialize. It's a chance to feel good about ourselves and our colleagues and dance and just enjoy what we love doing. So from that sense, COVID forced us to look at how to do it another way. It forced us to be creative, and it's forcing us to say, what are we gonna do when the vaccines are out and everything opens back up? I'm thinking, are we gonna let 200 people in a hall without social distancing? I'm thinking, are we gonna let 200 people in if they tell me they had a shot or they clean? I mean, it's gonna make us think about doing business differently.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people now that don't want to take the vaccine. Does that mean that, how do I know that you're straight? I have taken COVID just for my own understanding and relaxation 3 times, July, September, and I just took it 2 weeks ago. And I'm not going anywhere. It's just, I don't want to be caught. You never know who you're exposed to. I go to the store, I make short trips, and I come back. Moving ahead, what does that mean about big events? Sheila, you had a good event, and I'm sure it went well. Moving down the line in June, July of next year, what does that big event mean? How do we do the big event? How do we do our classes now? Do we have, now when we do, before we did classes, people had to sign a disclosure that the teacher wasn't held accountable, the facility was not being held accountable. Now do you put a COVID language in that particular statement you have to have them sign? What does COVID do to opening up the class, spacing one another, wearing a mask? Do you say that you shouldn't do more than 10 dances wearing the mask because you can't really breathe? It brings in a liability for the person hosting an event. If you don't have some insurance to cover you, what if somebody can't breathe and gets sick later and says, well, I got that because I went to that event. So it's putting a whole lot more pressure on us to do it like a business, to be smart, to make sure we've got insurance as an instructor. If you're teaching somewhere and that facility has insurance, you are not covered. You need to get your own individual insurance, because if I fall and whack my head, I'm coming after you, the center's mother and dad, anybody I can get my hands on to be made whole. So those are the things, short-term and long-term. And once we get back out there, we'll see. And it's going to warm up. We may keep teaching in the parking lot in the summer. I don't know. But it's going to bring a lot of different aspects to our industry. And we all need to be able to be prepared to face those and share winning strategies with one another. And that's what we do in the consortium. We talk to one another. We share what's going on, the good and the bad, to make ourselves more knowledgeable and more effective as we deliver our dance instruction to the industry.
Yes, those are very, very good points that we can all, use and take forward, move forward with our classes. And think about, I never thought about adding a COVID statement.
You bet.
To my form, so that's
COVID statement. Really give me your vaccine. Let me see your vaccine card.
Right.
I mean, there's so many different things we're going to have to think about because the public is going to demand it, whether we want it or not. And if we want to have
Mhm.
successful events and get back to close to where we were, we better be cognizant of all those different aspects of what's going to protect ourselves and protect our clients and customers.
That's true. That is so true. So Leslie, number 5, you want to ask Ms. Sharon number 5 question that we had? I think that's a real good one. I'm excited about her answer. Do you have it, Leslie?
We wanted to ask, why should you obtain a line dance instructor certification?
Okay,
Now that
you want me to read it? Here's what I have. Number 5, what dances have you choreographed? What is your favorite? Why? Okay, but let me just tell you, I don't choreograph a lot of line dances. I choreograph 5-minute showcase routines. Okay. I have choreographed about 10 line dances in the time I've been here. Out of the 10, I think maybe 5 have really taken off and had longevity. The longest is Chuck Baby. That one is the best one I did. I did Chuck Baby in 15 minutes. I grew up with my children in DC listening to go-go music. And I was in the basement when Chuck Brown in June 2007 came out with Chuck Baby music. I said, oh, no, he didn't. I got down in that basement and I just started dancing because of the way it made me feel. And that dance ended up getting it done at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, China. I've gotten awards for it. I met Chuck Brown and his family, and we danced as he sang. And some people, when they meet me, say, that's the first dance I learned. Well, I learned that back in 2007, 2008. So that one has given me a lot of renown. And I've not made a dime, but it's all in the industry and feeling good about what you like to do. But I prefer to do routines, line dance routines, and I've created 3 that have won first and second place in competitions. And so that's kind of my quick answer to that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Ms. Sharon, we would like to thank you for tuning in to our broadcast today.
Yes,
we will be
thank
here
you.
next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. unless otherwise announced. But please like, subscribe, and tell your team and friends about us. Thank you. And we are so excited you joined us today. Our next interview will be with John Woodhouse, all the way from Chicago, Illinois. And Ms. Sharon, what part of Maryland do you live in?
I live in a place called Odenton. And for those of you that don't know about Maryland, I'm located in between Annapolis, where the Naval Academy is, and Washington, D.C. There's a straight line, and that straight line intersects the main highway that comes right down to where I live. So I'm in between Annapolis and Washington, D.C.
In Washington.
Okay.
Right.
I knew it wasn't Baltimore. I said, she's up there somewhere.
Well, I'm also 15 minutes from BWI Airport. If you ever, and BWI is 10, 15 minutes from Baltimore. So I'm right in the center of kind of everything. I get to DC in 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, great.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of the name of that seafood restaurant sits up on the hill when you're going towards Baltimore. Oh my goodness. That's my husband's favorite restaurant.
The Blue Dolphin?
No, it sells the best lump crab cake I ever had in my life.
Darling, I can't help you with that. I'm good at eating. I'm not good at cooking and stuff. I can show up at a restaurant.
Going on BW Parkway towards Baltimore.
I don't know. Well, ladies, it's been fine. This has been very informative and a lot of fun. And I wish you much success. We need to tell the story and share with one another.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And
we have a few more things before we go.
Okay.
If you'd like to be a guest on Let's Talk Soul Line Dance, then you can send us an email to letstalksoullinedance@gmail.com, and you can become a member and leave us some feedback on our website. And Leslie, you gonna give us the line dance tips and the reasons?
Yes. I just wanted to reiterate on line dance etiquette that whenever you're on the dance floor, whenever you're in the classroom, please don't be on the dance floor talking amongst one another. Pull someone to the side or go outside of the room and try to be courteous of the ones that are trying to listen in or just trying to dance. Because I see it a lot at parties. And you know, at social gatherings when we're trying to dance, you know, you would just see like a crowd, a bundle of people on the dance floor, and people are trying to dance. And the same thing sometimes happens in the classroom when the instructor is trying to teach. Just, you know, try to be mindful of others. And like Sharon said before, you know, you want to treat others the way you would want to be treated. If you're up there trying to teach a line dance and somebody's talking, you know, others around you are trying to listen. So try to keep that in mind. And that's the tip that I wanted to leave for tonight.
Shay?
Excuse me?
Leslie?
Oh.
Or- I thought she had-
Okay, and I want to go over our mission statement again. And our mission is to discuss line dancing in all forms and to share that information with everyone in the industry, and to ultimately bring the North, South, East, West, and other countries together in one place.
Right, and our vision is to interview line dance instructors like Sharon and line dancers around the world to introduce them using face recognition, name, and team name. Use Zoom Live, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms to broadcast this information about our industry, ultimately making Let's Talk Soul Line Dance your one-stop get-to-know line dance platform that will feature line dance instructors and dancers around the world. So in closing, we would like to thank you for tuning into our broadcast today. We will be here every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. Thank you. God bless and stay safe. Our host of your host, of Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. And my mom always used to say, love is no good unless you give it away. So here is some of ours. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Sharon.
guys.
We
You're
really
welcome.
Sharon.
Thank you. Be
And
safe.
I hope that you tell
All
everybody
right.
about our interview platform.
Okay, I will. I
Thank you.
will.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Leslie.
Bye.